When it comes to using text in Inkscape, there are a lot of different techniques that you can use to give your design a little bit of oomph, to make your design look a little bit more dynamic. And today I'm going to show you how to do one of my favourites, the glitched method. Hello again my friends, Rob here from Button Press Graphics, feeling a lot better today, and I am ready to give you another tutorial. Today it is all about text and the techniques that you can use to make your designs look a lot more professional. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of things that you can do with text to make them feel a lot more fleshed out and a much better composition and design. Well, glitched text is one of my favorites to do simply because of how simple it is to do, and it gives a really good effect. So let's get started and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Now, of course, when you start, you can set up your document by going to File and Document Properties. Now, these are the settings that I have got for my project today. If you would like to copy them, you can pause this video and actually set them to exactly how I have here. Once you are done, we can close out of that, and to begin with, of course, we're going to use our text tool. Now, you can find the text editor tool on the left hand side toolbar. Click it and then select anywhere in the canvas to begin typing. Now, for this one, I am just going to put BPG. Nice and simple. It's just the initials for this channel and my company. So what I'm going to do with this is we're going to open the text editor panel on the right hand side. That's signified by this little T here. Now, if you haven't got this panel open, you can find it on the top properties toolbar right here where it says open text. Click that and it will open up on the right hand side. Now, once you have the text box open, what you're looking for is a type of font that has got quite thick letters. So I wouldn't be going for a text type like Arial. As you can see, it isn't very thick. And even when I move it to heavy, that is a lot better, but I don't like the rounded nature of it. I want it to be glitched, so I want it to be sharp corners more than anything else. And there you go. I think I'm going to go with Russo 1. I will leave a link to the font if you haven't got it downloaded yourself, so you can go and download it. Once you have downloaded and installed any fonts on Inkscape, you will need to restart the app before they will appear in this list. But once you have got the font that you're wanting, you can then increase the size to something a little bit easier to see. Now we have our letters, we need to convert this into a path and not a text object. So with it selected, we will come to path, object to path. Now, as you can see, with it selected, at the bottom it says path to signify that it is now a path. The next thing we have to do is come to our rectangles tool. And what we're going to do is create varying thicknesses of rectangles that will layer over the top of these letters. So to begin with, I'm just going to make them around there would be good. But the only thing we are paying attention to right now is the areas where this rectangle covers the letters. And as you can see, because this one is kind of opaque, becomes a dark blue instead of a black, and that is the area that we're looking at. Now, once you have got your first rectangle, you can just create several more with varying thicknesses. And once you're done, you should be left with something that looks a little bit like this. Now if we select anywhere on the canvas which isn't over the top of these shapes, you will deselect everything. With everything deselected, if you hold the left Alt button, you can then click and drag a red line through all the shapes that you want to select. In this case, it will be all the rectangles, and when you let go, it will select everything the red line touched. So in this case, it has selected all of the rectangles whilst leaving the B, P and G completely unselected. Now with all the rectangles selected, go to Path, Union. Now this is one complete shape. Now we have the shape that we need. We can simply select the black text, then hold Shift and select the rectangles. And with them both selected, we are going to come up to Path, scroll down to where it says Division and select. All the rectangles have disappeared and all of the intersecting areas have now become their own shape. So as you can see, now they're all individual shapes cut out into little pieces. But what we want to do is we want to select all the shapes line by line. Now if you zoom in, as you can see here, you will be able to see a faint line to signify where the shapes are. And what we're looking to do, this shape and every shape that is to the side, we need to select in one go. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit where I can still see the lines, the intersecting lines. And then I'm going to click and drag over the top shapes, just like this. For this next step, snapping may get in the way if you have it enabled. So if it is enabled, make sure you deselect it up in the top right corner before you start moving the shapes around. Now with this top line of shapes all selected, I am going to hold Control to lock it on to the horizontal and vertical axis, and I am going to shift it along just a little bit. I do not want to push the shapes too far away from the main block of letters, but I do want to give the sharp edges where it's shifting over. And then we're going to go to the next line and we're going to shift that in the opposite direction. And then we're going to come down to the line below that and again in the opposite direction. I'm going to keep doing that until we get to the very bottom. And when you're done, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Now that we have got our glitched text, we need to highlight everything by clicking and dragging over the entire canvas. And then we are going to come up to Path, Union. And now with this shape, we are going to copy it twice. So first off, we are going to right click and duplicate. And then we are going to change this to a red color, just like that. And now with it still selected, we are going to hold Control and just shift it over to the side ever so slightly, like so. Once you have something that looks like this, you can come up to the top properties toolbar and you can lower the selection one step, which is this little section here. And once you click it, it will look something like that. And now we're going to repeat this process but with a blue color instead, and we're going to shift it to the right instead of the left. So we're going to select the center shape, which is the black text. We're going to right click, duplicate. We are going to come down to the color swatches at the bottom and we're going to select a light blue. Now with this selected, again hold Control and just shift it to the right ever so slightly and then let go, come back up to the properties toolbar and lower this selection one step too. And now you have something that looks a little bit like this. Now from this point you have got your glitched text, so it is very easy for you to put a background behind it, and it is also very easy to put a dark background and white letters on instead. That's the kind of design that you might see on social apps like TikTok. TikTok have that glitched effect as well, and that is white text on a black background. So if you like it just like this, then you can go with it in that state. Or you could simply select the black text, turn that white and create a black background for your text, just like that. And that's pretty much it, my friends. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please by all means let me know. And if you would like to see some more text techniques in future videos, please let me know. For now, that is it. I will be back next week with another tutorial. And in the meantime, if you would like button press graphics to create something for you, we are competitively priced and give you lots of benefits for just simply being a client. So if you are interested in any of that, I will leave all the links you need in the description. You can even just go over and check out my blog that I write every week as well. Until next time, my friends, I'm going to bid you all a fond farewell, say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, I will see you in the next one.